It's a challenging business, and to prepare the next generation of leaders, successful dealers entrust ATD Academy with educating their sons, daughters, and managers. Students learn in a challenging, interactive environment. They sharpen analytical skills. They examine best practices. Each of the 6 weeks of class focuses on specific challenges, from financial management to leadership.
I'm going to show you how you can verify that.
So we look at the gross number.
What is your date when you say, oh gosh, this vehicle's got to go?
Students are taught by a team of instructors with real-world experience. They're experts who share the strategies and processes of today's most successful dealers.
And what we discovered was
Guest instructor Keith Ely provides students the invaluable perspective of a veteran of the truck dealership business. Students learn a lot during 200 intensive hours in class. Here are a few of the highlights. Week 1, Financial Management. Students learn how success depends on cash flow and speed. In a cash-intensive business, speedy collections, quick inventory turns, and daily expense controls are necessary for success.
aged inventories, aged receivables. Where is cash tied up?
Class zeroes in on the 13 areas of the financial statement that must be monitored daily. They are cash and equivalents and contracts in transit, receivables, vehicle service and warranty, inventories, new, used, work in process, and parts, and expenses, prepaid, personnel, advertising, floor plan. When too much cash is tied up due to aging inventory and receivables, several things happen, none of them good.
One is you run short on cash. Another is that it drives profitability down because you do things to rid yourselves of this old stuff. It's either non-collectible, so you write it off, so that's an automatic reduction in income, or you discount the price, you pay extra advertising, you pay spiffs, whatever it may be to move inventory out.
Let's go through a quick scenario.
In class, students learn how to gauge their store's performance.
If it's that low, that's a red flag.
Students learn why the measurements are important, how to perform the calculations, how to interpret the results, and how to compare the results to ATD guides and profiles.
We want them to think through not just the number, not just the inventory turns or the aging or the gross profit, but how'd you get there? And what keeps you from improving it?
It's a week to calculate, compare, and analyze, and it builds the foundation for future classes. Week 2, Fixed Ops 1, Parts. The focus is on having the right parts mix and enough of those parts to have a first-time fill rate of 90% or better.
Remember, the #1 job for a parts manager in today's world should be to collect good part numbers that you could have sold the part if you had them in your inventory.
Students learn how to analyze their inventory, minimize lost sales, and ensure they're stocking in-demand parts so repairs are finished today.
As students go through the class and they start to understand several things, demand, calculations, looking at their order points, accuracy of inventory, those types of things, they all of a sudden see that I probably have too much inventory for what my demand is.
The extra inventory is obsolete. Most of it is uninstalled special order parts, ordered but forgotten, costly but out of sight, sitting on a shelf.
So how do you bring transparency to that process? How do you use your business system to help report on that? What are some pieces in the process, some key indicators along the way that says, hey, look at me, I'm an uninstalled part, you need to do something with me. Either contact the customer, send me back to the manufacturer, whatever you do, don't put me on the shelf. Because once I'm on the shelf, I become hidden.
In class, students develop a multi-step action plan to ensure special order parts are installed on a timely basis. Week 3, Fixed Ops 2, Service. Process drives profit in every department, but in service, it's critical to success.
So we look at the gross number and we ask 2 very important questions. Am I holding 72% gross on all the labor that I'm selling? Am I maximizing my grossing opportunities in the service department?
Anything you can do to make that tech more productive, more efficient, more proficient in doing the repair, you need to do.
Students learn how to calculate tech proficiency and the best practices that can improve it. One critical step is a detailed service write-up.
So that first line of communication is incredibly important, and being able to have a good interview with the customer is vital.
Incomplete write-ups cause delays, made worse when the customer is not informed, a common complaint.
They're not kept informed as to the status of their truck. Now you have to understand, if I'm an owner-operator of a truck and my truck is down, it's costing me $80 to $100 an hour. So it'd be nice if I knew what was going on with the truck.
Remember, time is the whole issue here. Anything we can do to allow the customer to know when the truck will be back. Now they may not like it, but at least they know. They can plan around that.
Poor processes often cause delays. Students search for answers in class by analyzing their store's RO cycle.
How long it takes from the time the repair order is open till the truck is brought into the shop, to the first punch, to the second punch, till when the truck is finished, till when it is finally closed.
The goal is to find the bottlenecks, fix them, and begin tracking every RO.
At all points in time, you need to know where that repair is at.
Students leave class knowing dozens of best practices to improve proficiency, profitability, speed of repairs, and customer satisfaction. Week 4, Variable Ops 1, Pre-owned trucks.
We need to listen for leaks, any air leaks.
A primary learning objective of Week 4 is understanding the appraisal process.
What happens if you don't price it right?
Watch for that leak. That leak is...
Students go on a field trip to a pre-owned truck center where they get hands-on experience.
It's not just the process of looking at the specs and the mileage and those types of things, but that's an asset. You are now an asset manager.
And the value of that asset depends in large part on its supply and demand.
And so part of the exercise is not just the appraisal piece, but understanding the market for that truck as well. And so if you understand that supply far exceeds demand on this truck, you're going to price it totally different, and you can see that truck totally different than you will if demand exceeds supply. And so understanding not just the specs, but the marketability of that truck becomes very, very important.
That knowledge helps make for more informed stocking decisions and inventory strategies affecting days to turn, aging inventory issues, and profitability, all discussed in Week 4. Week 5, Variable Ops 2, New Trucks. One key lesson of Week 5 involves inventory strategies.
What do we need to stock? What do we not need to stock? How do we manage inventory?
That means selling it before it ages, before it loses value and hurts profitability.
Old assets really, really drag down the business.
That puts a premium on meeting and beating ATD's guides and profiles on inventory turn.
Making those turns quicker and quicker while meeting the demand of the market is just vital.
In class, students learn strategies and best practices to improve turn and profitability. Week 6, Business Leadership. Previous classes focused on financial performance and best practices, but implementing those lessons takes the leadership skills taught in Week 6.
Week 6 really deals with the people themselves and what are their skills. It really gets down to having them understand themselves, how they communicate, and how other people accept their communication, to help them become better leaders, because they can come up with a fantastic plan, but if they don't know how to sell the plan and to get people to feel committed to the plan, then obviously it all goes for naught.
We go through and do a lot of discussion about leadership strategies, about how to be a good leader, how to be an effective leader, and what does that look like?
Motivating employees, for example.
Anybody who tells you that there's an easy solution to motivating your people is lying to you. Anybody who tells you that they can fix this problem with a pay plan is lying to you.
Management by mandate and memo won't work.
You can't just be slapping a piece of paper down in front of somebody and say, just do this. You need to coach them.
Set expectations and follow up.
You know, giving them the expectations, coaching them through. What do they need to do to achieve success?
It's a thought-provoking week involving communication, coaching, and commitment. Week 6 concludes with graduation ceremonies and a diploma signifying students mastered ATD Academy's rigorous course of study, one that's vital to success in an ever-changing marketplace. Don't miss out. Sign up today. Call 800-557-6232. Send an email to academy@nada.org or visit the website nada.org/academy.